my channel. This is Tita Lavinia of Titas of Pageantry, and for this episode, we will finally get to talk about Miss Universe. So please make sure you stick around. Please subscribe to the channel as well as hit that bell notification button for your weekly pageant fix. Hey guys, did you miss me? Because I definitely missed you. Well, I missed doing a vlog like this because we did something a little different prior to this video. So this was because I was busy, and I am actually still busy. We are renovating our adjacent room. I'm turning that into a studio so that you guys would have a nicer set to look at. I have had this channel for about a year now. In a few weeks, it's gonna be our first year together, and if I wasn't so sure about my space before, I'm more sure now. So I'm doing a lot of work converting that. We're doing a lot of construction work. We're doing a lot of painting. We're doing or we're buying a lot of like thrift store finds. So if you want to help me out with the transformation of my studio, please consider becoming a patron. I am on Patreon. The link is at the description box. But if you want to help this channel out, help this improve visually and technically, I will also put my PayPal details at the description box below. So please feel free to send in your love. So there you go, guys. And I'm just doing this because one of the commenters did say, Tita, are you doing mukbang? Because it seems like you're in a kitchen and you're multitasking, you're doing a vlog, yet you're doing, I don't know, maybe cooking or mukbang. So I feel you, so I'm gonna make some changes. Let's make that set really nice and girly and pretty. So there you go. I thought about doing Miss Universe because, guys, it's about time we talk about Miss Universe. We are at the tail end of completing the final list of delegates, so might as well talk about it. And it seems like it's such a good time to talk about it because rumors are becoming louder and louder. So let's go ahead and discuss those rumors first. So a few weeks ago, there were a couple of pageant pages who circulated these rumors about details on the upcoming Miss Universe edition. So they're going to call it the 69th edition. It's going to be for 2020, but they will hold it apparently in 2021. So according to the rumors, some of the national directors started receiving directives from the Miss Universe organization containing details such as dates as to when the submission of materials would be accepted, materials like photo shoots, uniformity of photo shoots, like write-ups. So they are supposed to submit all of these no later than December 31st. So according to the rumors, they said that the venue as well as the date was also disclosed, but not in detail. So they're looking at early next year. At first, they mentioned February, but looking at the global situation, it won't be surprising if they push that further into March or maybe even April. So as for the venue, we don't have the specific details yet because, again, these are rumors, but the two contenders are Las Vegas, which is of course the go-to place of Miss Universe, and even Miami, which is actually the stronger of the two cities. So there. Also included in that list of rumors is that this year they said we'll have or by next year, they will have the smallest number of representatives competing at Miss Universe. Now, this seems to really check out because when I was doing my research for this video, I found out that there are 59 confirmed candidates with only a few more to be crowned by the end of December. So I think we're looking at a little over 60 candidates for the 69th edition. So that seems to really check out. Now, USA as the possible venue. Now, this isn't really far-fetched, guys, because I think in most parts of the world, everybody is still really paralyzed. The US, although they have high cases of COVID there, you know, things seem to be normal. And one of the pillars of the MUT group, Fred MUT, in one of his posts, remember that time when they had a fashion show with all of the jewelry, with some of the queens of Thailand, as well as Amanda Obdam. There was a post of Fred putting on necklace on Amanda with a caption that says, you know, it was a very encouraging caption that says, blah, 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 for your competition in the US. So a lot of people picked up on that. Now, I will say that while I was gathering information for this video, I did come across maybe a photo or two from really very obscure countries, obscure national directors' accounts, obscure pageant pages, who did mention that the US will be the final venue for the show. So maybe there is some truth to it. Now, as for the more interesting rumor that just came up maybe last night or yesterday, it seemed that one of the members of the Chi group, the one who does the hair for the girls, was caught in the screenshot having a conversation with a friend saying that Miss Universe organization is no longer owned by IMG and that we have to wait for further announcements. Now, a lot of people picked up on this because if you notice, a few months ago, this was 7 months ago to be exact, I did a video content for you detailing the financial woes of WME IMG. So again, IMG dropping Miss Universe organization is not far-fetched. If this is rumor that's now circulating, at least in the Latin American countries or in America, that trickled down here in Asia, there must be some truth to it. Don't you agree? So some of the names that are coming up now are, of course, the Kardashians. Not too long ago, they had an involvement with this really fun video that Miss Universe posted. And then not too long ago, they had, at least for Kim Kardashian, I think she had an interview saying that she would like to acquire Miss Universe. So a lot of people picked up on that and held on to that. Another group that's really gaining momentum as the possible owners of the new Miss Universe is, or are the Sing Sons. So I don't know if we have this much power to own Miss Universe, but and I also don't know if Rochelle Sing-Son's statement, Shavit Sing-Son's daughter, I don't know if her statement was somewhat edited or manipulated, but there was something that was posted online that it seemed like she was excited for an announcement. So I don't know if this is alluding to their ownership of Miss Universe. Another group that is emerging as the possible owners of Miss Universe is Telemundo. So it would make sense as to why the Latinas are really gaining momentum this year. So another of those crazy rumors that I've heard about is that they are considering going virtual by next year, and that they will be considering bringing only a limited number of girls to the actual venue in the United States. I think I read somewhere that they will only bring the top 5 girls for the final show by next year. So that's why there were directives to have at least uniformity in the photo shoots that they will be submitting, because they are considering going virtual. Now, I don't know if this is even feasible. Please let me know what you think, guys. Are we ready for a virtual Miss Universe? So I'm just not so sure. I just hope that they still push through with the physical pageant. Even if it's not for February, they can push it for, April. It doesn't matter. So since we are now done with the rumors, my rationale in making this content for you is for you to at least get to know some of these girls before you make your list, because I do know that you've fixed your list and you've left some of the ladies off of your list. So I think these information might actually help you. So we are looking at 59 girls at the moment. So it would make sense for the rumors about removing the continental groupings to actually hold true, because it wouldn't be balanced. I think for Africa alone, we only have maybe 2 or 3 delegates. For Latin America, we have almost everyone in complete attendance. So it really wouldn't make sense to have, 5 slots for the Americas, 5 slots for the for Asia and Africa. So it's going to be tougher this year if they do away with the continental groupings, because probably the organization won't care if you have a strong sash factor as long as you're stellar in your performance. So it's gonna be an arrangement wherein the ladies will really have to not just rely on their fans and their impressive or not so impressive training programs. They really have to compete on their own. So I want to look into Europe first, because I feel that Europe isn't, as usual, the strongest grouping in terms of beauty pageants this year, but they do have someone really, really interesting this year. You might want to consider looking into Bianca Tirsin. Now, she is from Romania. I do know that you guys are familiar with her. She competed at Miss Supranational in 2017, finishing 2nd runner-up, and she also had an impressive showing at Miss International 2018 when she went head-to-head with her very own Atisa Manalo, finishing 3rd runner-up. Now, for the 17 years that Romania has sent girls to Miss Universe, they haven't advanced to the semifinals. So for Bianca to get all the spotlight this year, it means that she is in a really good position to give Romania their very first placement at Miss Universe. So she is definitely someone to watch out for. I know very little about Miss Poland. There seems to be very little information on her. And we actually don't know if she is still going to push through with her competition for Miss Universe because she was crowned in 2019, but they haven't really given us information that they will be looking for someone else to represent them by 2021. But her name is Magdalena Kasiborska, and looking at her photos, she's one of the facially prettiest girls in the country. Now let's talk about the African region, because when you talk about who's the strongest in Africa, and I'm sure you've been asked this, I'm sure I've been asked this several times, and I think this is a no-brainer. This one goes to Natasha Joubert of South Africa, and this is only because we only have, what, 2 or 3 Africans for this year? And Natasha is one of the most recognizable ones. First of all, she has a really pretty face. She's very commercial looking, and she did really well during the competition. Apart from that, she was surprising in a not so surprising way. What I mean is, when Shudu was crowned, people knew that she was going to go into Miss Universe without really realizing that it's a little different with South Africa. With South Africa, they have a number of winners, but then they decide later on where to assign these winners. So they propelled their second runner-up, Natasha, to Miss Universe, moving Shudu to compete at Miss World. So I think this is a really, really smart move, because if you want a little bit of diversity, if you want to have a follow-up to Zozibini, you cannot have a representative who has the same look or the same vibe as Zozibini. So I think what they did with Natasha was a really, really smart move. So an interesting fact with Natasha was that she was South Africa's representative to Miss Globe 2016. So she competed with her very own Nicole Manalo, Nicole finishing 3rd runner-up, with Natasha finishing 4th runner-up. So there you go. I know that a lot of you guys are really talking about the Latinas this year, or at least the contenders from the Americas. And this makes total sense, because for all of the other regions, we don't have a lot of ladies competing, but for the Americas, they seem to have a complete attendance. So I'm going to talk about the first group for the Americas, and I feel like this is a group of accomplished women. They're more on the mature side, but they are really experienced with really impressive bios. So I am talking about Brazil's Julia Gama. So Brazil is also multilingual. I like that she has started her transformation. Her physical transformation is something that's really very evident. She's very well-spoken, but soft-spoken, so she has that feminine vibe going on. But I do feel that she really has to work more on her sex appeal, as well as really freshening up her look. But I also feel that she's on her way to doing that. So what's interesting about Brazil is that she was a top 11 finisher at the Miss World competition in 2014. So she's one of the Miss World alums this year. Another very interesting lady from this grouping of well-accomplished girls, we have Puerto Rico, Estefania Soto Torres. Estefania is also 27 years old. She is statuesque. She was first runner-up to Madison Barrios in 2019. And what's really impressive about her is that she can communicate, guys. She's multilingual as well. She speaks English, Spanish, and French, and she actually took up her master's in intercultural mediation in Belgium. So we're dealing with someone here who has the experience, who knows how to talk to different types of people, who has her foot in governance, in talks on international relations, in public relations, in foreign affairs. So this might come in handy for Miss Puerto Rico. And then, of course, we have the really, really strong Mexican this year. Her name is Andrea Meza. She's well-loved. She was able to tickle the Filipino fans' fancy by wearing that really pretty terno to one of her TV appearances. So that really cemented her place in the Filipino pageant fans' heart. She is 26 years old, and what's interesting about the statuesque Mexican who stands at 5'11" is that she studied software engineering, so she's really brainy, but she also paved the way for Mexico's really good standing in Miss World, finishing first runner-up in 2017. So she really is a force to be reckoned with. So you might ask me, Tita, what about the usual suspects? Well, don't worry, they are still on this list. And I feel like these glamazons, this next group, the glamazons that I will be mentioning, they're very dangerous because they are not just, you know, physically the embodiment of a beauty pageant girl. They actually are able to tick the boxes of the other aspects of being a beauty queen that aren't usually associated with the statuesque Latinas. So we have the likes of the Dominican Republic, who we know is really very facially pretty. Her name is Kimberly Jimenez. She lost last year, which was really heartbreaking for us, but hooray this year because she is back. I just feel like they have to bring back her freshness because I feel like they made some changes to her face, making her look a little harder this year. So I don't know if this is in preparation for looking softer, because sometimes they do that. They do all sorts of things to your face so that, you know, you could heal and maybe look fresher by the time you compete. But yeah, I just feel like they need to pull back a little bit with Kimberly Jimenez because she's already gorgeous to begin with. Panama's Carmen Jaramillo, she is also statuesque and very leggy, very sexy. I mean, that's the persona that she gets to project on social media. But what I do know is that she's also very active with her causes. She was a former Miss Earth contestant for Panama in 2015. Unfortunately, she didn't place, but that doesn't matter because apart from looking apart from looking the part physically, she's also doing a lot of her social work, which balances at least her social media presence. I also want to talk about Miss Colombia's Laura Olascuaga. At 5'11", she is also one of the tallest girls in this competition. And what's interesting about her was that her reign started in a really shaky manner. Not a lot of people were on board when she won. A lot of pageant fans had other ideas in mind, but I think she is proving to be worthy Miss Colombia candidate. I'm looking at all of her materials. She has her organization backing her up, so they're making sure that her activities and her appearances are very balanced. I also will be mentioning Venezuela because what is a competition without Venezuela, right? So at first I thought she was a little forgettable. Her name is Maria Angel Villasmil. I wasn't really on board with her because I keep on forgetting her, but I'm really happy with her latest transformation. They did some changes with her hair, some changes with her makeup, and I feel that Venezuela is Venezuela. They're not gonna go down in a competition. And I am really liking Miss Argentina. She was one of the recent appointees this year. Her name is Alina Axelrad. I've heard her speak English. She is very engaging. I do know that some commenters mentioned that she took courses or studied in Harvard. So I'm really excited how Osmel is gonna package Miss Argentina because I think he failed last year. So I hope that he regains his power in terms of packaging this year. But if you ask me who the strongest of the Latinas are this year, they're not on the list that I mentioned earlier. I'm talking about the first one is Miss Chile. Her name is Daniela Nicolas. She has a very Emilia Clarke, Miranda Kerr, Hollywood sort of face. She's everywhere on social media. She makes sure that she produces really good content for you and meaningful content like HIV awareness or making sure that she is known to her Spanish fans, to her English-speaking fans, and to her Arab-speaking fans because she is part Lebanese. And then another one that I would really like for you guys to really check out is Miss Peru. Now, for me, I find that Miss Peru is, I don't know, if you could give the crown right now, you could probably give it to Miss Peru. I think physically she does look the part. She competed at Miss Supranational, finishing third runner-up in 2019. Her name is Janik Maceta, and what's striking about her is not about her beauty queen features, but she is really endearing. She's really nice to talk to. I've heard some clips of her interview. She's really very engaging, and her eyes, they look like Diana Mendoza's. They're very honey-colored. I really wouldn't mind if Peru bags a crown this year. So the Caribbean also have really strong girls, but I feel like their strength mostly lies on their physical features. I know that Dominican Republic should be on this list, but I didn't include her. I put her in the Latinas because she's a little confusing. At one point, she competed for Puerto Rico, and now she's for Dominican Republic. So I left her to that group. But for the Caribbean girls, I have two. And of course, we have the likes of Curacao. Her name is Chantal Wirtz. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but she has that Margot Robbie type of Hollywood look. She's really very pretty. And I also do know that she's being put into a lot of these speaking engagements online so that people would get to know her. In fact, Rabia had an interview with her, so she might be someone who could penetrate, because as we all know, once Curacao penetrates the semis, they do really well. Miss Jamaica's Mikel Simone Williams. Now, Mikel is a fashion model. We've seen some of her high fashion materials, but what's very interesting about her is that she's tall and that she has that really pretty face. Now, I do know that we cannot just rely on pretty faces, but guys, this is just our initial introduction to some of the notable ladies at Miss Universe. So don't worry, we will have more of an in-depth look into these ladies as we progress going into Miss Universe. So what about the girls from Northern America? Well, I do know that the USA gets to have like this criticism of getting that token placement, and maybe this year will also be the same. But the thing that I'm really holding on to is that at least for this year, they have someone super facially pretty. She's really cute. Her name is Asia Branch. I do know that she has been a little controversial when it comes to, I don't know, her political affiliations or political beliefs, but being Miss USA, I have no doubt that she will do really well at Miss Universe, whether they give her the token placement or whether they put her in because of her own merits. But I think we have someone, yeah, who's really pleasing to the eyes, because for the past how many years, they've been looking for someone with really impressive bios. So we have someone here from the USA with a story to tell. So she might be an interesting yeah, candidate for Miss Universe. And of course, will we forget the demigod that is Nova Stevens of Canada? I mean, you cannot miss Miss Canada this year. She is statuesque. She has a voice. Her social media presence is really very strong. She's very visual. And you feel like this is someone who not only needs the platform, but uses the platform to really cascade whatever it is that she strongly believes in. So with IMG, this type of woman could go really far, but I don't know with the new owners, if there will be indeed new owners. But I'm just saying that Miss Canada is someone that you cannot dismiss in this competition. So now let's go to Asia, because I feel like Asia is something that yeah, you want to talk about. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of ladies from Asia right now, and this list is just really very common. I think leading the pack this year is India. India for me, Adeline Castellino. There is something that's still lacking in her, maybe a little bit of charisma, but her name keeps popping up because she's good with comm skills. We don't have an issue with her body proportions, and she has like a really very passionate cause for agriculture and the farmers. So this is something a little different for Miss Universe. I feel that this is something that she could represent really well. So yeah, Miss India needs to work more on being charismatic, but I think this has something to do with whatever materials that they are putting out there. So I think they have to polish this one a little bit. Of course, we have our very own Rabia Mateo. Now, Rabia Mateo, I know, is going through something really very shaky right now. Not everything is in place for Rabia Mateo right now, but we have to give her a little bit of time. And whatever time away from social media she's taking right now, I'm pretty sure she's making good use of it to focus on her fitness, to focus on her social media behavior, and to focus on her delivery. So I think that with the organization rallying behind her, if they are rallying behind her, and of course the Filipino pageant fans, you cannot miss Rabia. She is quick-witted. We just really need to polish her out. I think that at least with Rabia, we already have aspects that are already ticked off. Like pasarela is there, body is there, the face is there, comm skills is there. So we just really have to streamline everything and make sure that come Miss Universe season, she is at her most beautiful, she is at her most elegant, she is at her classiest, and she is going to Miss Universe at her most confident. Because I think right now this is just something that they need to really, I don't know, be on the same page with. So, but talking about, for me, the strongest Asian this year, hands down, is Amanda Obdam, or Thailand's Amanda Obdam. And I'm not just saying this because I'm kissing asses. It's really not that. And let me tell you the reason why Amanda is really doing well in this competition. First of all, Amanda may not be the prettiest or the most popular Miss Thailand in recent years. Thailand has done so well since 2015, and this is a combination of the organization doing all the dirty work. This is a combination of the styling team. This is a combination of just that Thai way of attacking things. So they want their trainings to be with a certain Thai flavor. They want their girls to be a little rough around the edges. They don't want their girls to be super polished. So if this is the peg of Thailand, then I think they're doing a really good job with Amanda. Now, what I like about how Amanda is being trained at Miss Universe is that it's not gigil. It's not so out there. She makes sure that she's in circulation. She makes sure that you don't get to forget her at Miss Universe. She's on social media, but it's very chill. It's not in your face, and you can see improvements. There are days that she doesn't look her best, and there are days that she looks really fantastic, which means that they're doing everything that they can in terms of experimentation. So I also like that they're taking things a little slower. I like that they are focusing on the glam side, but also focusing on enriching her intellect and enriching her communication skills, because this is something that we see. And whenever Amanda goes into like interview, she's very effortless, she's effervescent, she knows how to have fun, she's not really very serious. And I know that some of you will say that Amanda maybe is not all that, because she does seem a little shallow, but I also feel that this makes her more likable, and that Miss Universe right now isn't looking for someone who can ace an essay or a recitation. They want someone really relatable. And if you have glamour plus being relatable, then yeah, I guess Amanda's here. For out of the box ladies from Asia and the Pacific, you might want to check out Cambodia, Sarita Re. Sarita is on the petite side, but she's very impressive. She has a Filipino training group behind her, and yeah, she speaks French. You may also want to check out Malaysia, because Miss Malaysia's Francisca Luhong James, she has an innate elegance to her. I think that Malaysia just really needs to work harder on packaging as well as marketing and styling, but I think they have a really good candidate with Francisca. And I don't know, maybe Nepal. Nepal has done really well, so if they choose wisely this year, we may have another contender from Asia who could go head-to-head with the Latinas. So don't worry about the Latinas being strong. I mean, there have been strong Latinas in the past, but I do know that with IMG, they have been pretty much overlooked. So if this year is their year, yeah, let's support them. I just want everybody to be at their best right now, because it's going to be very challenging for the next edition. The next edition will come after the global pandemic, so we don't know what arrangements are in place or what changes are in place, or if the pageant fans will be ready for these changes, at least for their favorite competition, Miss Universe. So this is pretty long. I hope that you guys are cool. So thank you guys for tuning in, and please let me know who made it to your list. So don't worry, we will discuss about the other ladies soon. So thank you guys. Goodbye.